Hey, Shalom, guys. I was just wanting to get on here. Well, I was really wanting to actually specifically hit Isaiah 44, but I'm wanting to also expose the idolaters of Psalms, the people that are in Psalms, and and that's in Isaiah 42, where Yahweh's elect is, um, prophesied, which these false prophet books make Yasharel think that they are the elect one. But it's not, it's David. So Isaiah 49 is for Yasharel. I mean, they're going to be, a light to the nations and, for a covenant too. But this chapter specifically, but anyway, so it's best to just start from the beginning. I want to help people understand. Okay, so I want to start at Isaiah. Hold on, y'all. I give all praises to Yahweh in truth. I want to help anybody that I can, because his truth is not going out. It's just not. And maybe this can be the year that people start picking up. I pray, because the lies are just getting worse. I give all praises to Yahweh for helping me understand his word, for myself. But anyway, so I want to start at, I want to do less talking as possible. Hold on, I do remember something that I wanted to mention, because a lot of people can't identify who his anointed cherubims are, where he specifically says one is in Ezekiel 28:11-19, which is the sun. There's many scriptures that could be put together, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I wanted to mention this. Why do y'all think that Yahweh prophesies that the sun, moon, and stars are going to be confounded? They're going to be ashamed. The sun is going to be the light, brightness of 7 days. That's why, it's getting hotter and it's getting brighter. I got my back to him right now. Ezekiel 8. He tells us what they were doing in his house. The women were crying over Tammuz. And the men had their backs to his house, facing the east, bowing down, worshiping the sun. Jeremiah 8, where he exposes the wise fools. He tells us the sun, and, where they're gathering the bones and laying them before the sun, moon, and stars, the whole host of heaven, who his people love to worship and serve. But, you know what I'm saying? He prophesizes their destruction, the hosts of heaven, sun, moon, and stars. Deuteronomy 4, he tells us, don't be seduced into worshiping. When you look up sun, moon, and stars. And he said, don't make for yourself an image of a likeness of a man or male or female, right? He exposes these cherubim and who his anointed ones are. Okay, Isaiah 47, the virgin daughter of Babylon, he tells her to come and sit down in darkness, expose yourself, cross over the river. There's a lot, people, he put his people into her hands. And everybody thinks that she's Elohim, and there's no other. They think that, I'm just not even going to get into detail, but I just wanted to say this. There's still so many scriptures, y'all, where he exposes the sun, moon, and stars. You know what I'm saying? And their destruction. But the false prophet books doesn't prophesy their destruction. It doesn't. There's a lot of lies, and it's prophesied where they're not going to be destroyed. And we got to remember, Yahweh specifically tells us David is going to be that one shepherd, right? That one shepherd. He is prophesied in so many scriptures, even in the Torah. All these scriptures go together to prove David is the elect, that one shepherd. And he's going to have righteous descendants, Zadok, that, he never had before. And they're going to judge throughout the earth while David's in Jerusalem. But there's just so much. There's so much. But anyways, I'm going to stop there. Okay, so we're going to start on Isaiah, at the end of Isaiah 39. And that's just because This is what was prophesied last before them, having no peace going into captivity. Okay. Behold, the days come. Hold on. Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the word of Yahweh. Behold, the days come that all that is in your house and that which your fathers have laid up in store until this day shall be carried to Babel. Nothing shall be left, says Yahweh. And of your sons that shall issue from you, which you shall beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babel. Then said Hezekiah of Isaiah, good is the word of Yahweh which you have spoken. He said, moreover, for there shall be peace and truth in my days. But there will not be peace and truth in his descendants, because they're going to be carried away, right? So look, it goes straight into Isaiah 40, y'all. End time prophecy. We have, Isaiah 40 through 66 is critical. Every chapter prophesizes Yasharel's redemption and restoration, and peace that'll never be tore down again. They will never be robbed of their children, their crops, anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's very important. And you got to know where the lies are inserted. Like, okay, what we're going into Isaiah 40. This is where they run it. Okay, so we know what we just read in Isaiah 39 and where it left off. And then what it's going into. This is what this chapter was falsely fulfilled by John the Baptist and JC. And the good news right here of Zion, bring good news, get you into the high mountains. The good news, okay, he's going to magnify his Torah. His Torah is the good news that's going to bring peace, not the Gospels. So this chapter, all these chapters were falsely fulfilled, y'all. Isaiah 40. And then, 41, he exposes the righteous, this king raised up from the east. You know what I'm saying? He exposes him. Then Isaiah 42, his elect is being raised up. You know what I'm saying? That's David. Isaiah 43, Yahweh's pleading that he is the only Savior, and besides him there is none. All these were falsely fulfilled. And why Yahweh speaks and says everything that he says is because we got to listen to his voice. He's pleading with y'all. He says certain things so you won't trip up on this second temple era. This is the second Exodus going down, y'all. Isaiah 40, right here. This is it. This is what we're waiting on that never came to pass. So we're going to get to exposing Psalms. That's going to get to Isaiah 42. So I'm going to skip through here the importance, and then get there as quick as I can. So he's saying, comfort ye, my people, says your Elohim. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry to her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, and she has received of Yahweh's hand double for her sins. The land, double. So that's proof. No second temple, okay, right? The voice of him that cries in the wilderness. It's not John the Baptist. It don't even mention John. Prepare ye the way of Yahweh, not JC. Make straight in the desert a highway. In the desert a highway for our Elohim, right? Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain shall be made low and crooked. Okay, we know that. And the glory of Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This never came to pass, y'all. For the mouth of Yahweh has spoken. The voice said, cry. What should you cry? All flesh is grass, okay? And the goodness, but our Elohim's word shall stand forever, okay? O Zion, that brings good news, get you up to the high mountain. O Jerusalem, that brings good news, lift up your voice with strength, lift it up. Be not afraid. Say to the cities of Yehuda, behold your Elohim. This has never came to pass. Behold, Yahweh will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Right? Remember that. His arm is David. He mentions his arm all the time. And also Isaiah, at the end of Isaiah 50, end of Isaiah 50, he said, let's just go to it because it's so important that I don't want to miss a word. Who among you that fears Yahweh, that obeys the voice of his servant, that walks in darkness and has no light? Yahweh and David. Let him trust in the name of Yahweh and stay upon his Elohim. Behold, all ye that kindle a fire, that compose yourself about with sparks. With JC, this light, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that you have kindled, this shall ye have of your hand, ye shall lie down in sorrow. Okay, this is so important. So let's get... Okay, so the good news, right? We're looking at prophecy. When you want to know if something's really from Yahweh, you read what's prophesied, and then so Yahweh's glory is being revealed here at the end, and then the good news, you know, a piece of salvation. His reward is coming with him. His arm is going to rule for him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are young. But JC says, woe unto them having children in the last days. Yahweh says he's going to guide those with young gently. And then, so he's saying, who has measured the waters? So he's trying to prove, okay, no, this is so important. Let's just go and go to it. Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out the heaven with span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in measure? Yahweh has done all this. Pay attention. And weighed mountains in the scales, and hills in the balance. Who has directed the Ruach, Yahweh? Wisdom is saying that she's directing Yahweh's, you know what I'm saying? His wisdom. I'm sorry, y'all. I guard his word. And the lies are just terrible. It's time to wake up. Or being his counselor has taught him. What did he say? Who has directed Yahweh? Or who has his counselor has taught him? With whom took he counsel? These words are important. And who instructed him, and who taught him in the path of judgment? JC said. And Book of Proverbs is teaching peace and prosperity. Yahweh said he took his peace. He's been holding his peace for a long time. And I was going to go deep in that, but I'm not. But we're going to get there, because there's no telling how long this video. So he's trying to sit here. So he just, remember what he said, y'all, just then. So important. And this is where he says, behold, the nations are a drop of a bucket, or counted as small dust of the balance. Behold, he takes up the isles of a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for ascended smoke. All for all nations before him are nothing. They are counted to him as less than nothing in vanity. But y'all said that JC was this ultimate sacrifice. What did he just say? Lebanon isn't even sufficient to burn, nor beast. You know what I'm saying? Why is he already saying this just in chapter Isaiah 41, y'all? Pay attention. These alleged Yah only servants, they said they dropped JC. They're lying, y'all. Somebody needs to help him. I mean, I want us to turn back to Yah. Well, I want to get out of here. It's hard for me to be in the situation I'm in. I don't want to go into detail, but I want to get out of here. I want my life to change up, because when I'm in a state where something's coming in between me and Yahweh and my walk, and it's affecting me repeatedly, I have to move differently. And I'm trying to trust in Yahweh. I got to, because that's all I can do. But it makes, you know what I'm saying? He is my number one priority, and I can't let anybody come in between that. This is what I've worked so hard for. And anyways, so okay, so he's saying right there, behold, okay, Lebanon's, okay. To whom then will you liken El, or what likeness you compare him? Okay, he tells us they make a graven image, and Yahweh said he's the one that establishes, you know, the earth, inhabits it, stretches out. He is the one. He brings the princes to nothing, the judges. What about JC? I thought JC was this high priest. He was this, you know, prince. Okay, so this is important. I want to get to this, because here he is exposing the host of heaven. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who has created these things? He's trying to tell you, you got to read up here, princes to nothing. They shall not be planted, take root. Their stock shall not take root in the earth. It shall also blow upon them. They shall wither. A whirlwind shall take them stubble. Who will you liken to me then? Lift up on high. Behold, the sun, moon, and stars. He's saying, lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who has created these things? Yahweh has. Yahweh did create wisdom. She is the queen of heaven. She is not Yasharel's mother. Jeremiah 2. Y'all calling JC the wood your father and the queen of heaven your mother. He exposes her and who she is. Even in the false prophet books, I can see who exactly she is. Y'all can't. Because you don't have the full, you're not putting Isaiah 8:20 first. You're not even trying to find the foundation of what you're supposed to learn his word upon. And then explore what's outside of it. Okay? So, let me finish here. That brings out their... this is going to be a long video. I'm sorry, y'all. But this is just important. Everything, his whole word. And Isaiah 40 and up is critical, y'all. Please go read it. Please. And we're going to get to where Isaiah 40, where Koresh is mentioned in the last days. Where Cyrus, king of Persia, falsely fulfilled. And I'm going to show y'all where prophecy, how do we know if it comes to pass? We know because if it came to pass, did it bring peace? Okay? So Cyrus, king of Persia, they and JC, John the Baptist, everybody's claiming peace. That this good news is the Gospels. Okay? This second temple is peace. What did Haggai say? That this former house would be greater than the latter house and how it would bring peace. It didn't bring peace. If you're going to try to fulfill Yahweh's peace, you're going to make sure it happens. Okay. He calls them, okay, lift up your eyes on high. Behold, who has created these things that brings out their host by number? He calls them all by the names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power. Not one fails. Why say you, O Jacob, and speak, O Yasharel, my way is hidden from Yahweh, and my judgment is passed over from my Elohim? Why is he saying that? And then it's right here in the last days. Have you not known? Have you not heard? You know, your judgment isn't passed. You're not hidden from him. You're still, the curses have never been loosened. His people has never returned back to the true promised land. Never. The imposter Jews return back to the fake promised land. Okay, so he gives power to the faint, to them that have no might. He increases strength. Even youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up as wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Right? Y'all, so where's the 70-year captivity? Remember? Isaiah 39. What do we read about Hezekiah? His descendants are going to be eunuchs, right? And so then it goes straight into end-time prophecy, right? And the good news, right? I didn't even want to get that deep on that. I'm trying to get to a different chapter. So, which is important. Okay, this is where he's exposing. Who raised up this righteous man from the east, called him to foot, gave nations before him, okay, and made him rule over kings. He gave them dust to his sword, has driven stubble to his bow. He pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet, on unfamiliar ground. Who has wrought and done it, calling generations from the beginning? Yahweh, the first, and with the last, I am he. The owls saw it and feared. This is end-time prophecy, y'all. Did you see a second temple from Isaiah 30 into 39:40? Did you see a second temple? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Okay, so I don't. The owls saw it and feared the ends. Okay, everyone his neighbor, carpenter, courage. Okay, the hammer. Okay, it's ready for soldering. He faces with the nail. That is should not be moved. But you, Yasharel, are my servant. Right? He's telling you about this idol. He said, who is this righteous king raised up from the east? This is end time prophecy. And the nations, keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near and let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment, right? Judgment. End time prophecy, judgment. He's saying, let his people renew their strength. Y'all. Hey. Natalie. Okay, so, right, it goes straight into the end time prophecy. Then the nations are freaking out. They're like, uh-oh. Yeah, so he's trying to say, you're my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. You, whom I have taken from the ends of the earth and called you from the chief men thereof, have said to you, you are my servant. I have chosen you and not cast you away. I want Yasharel to make it. I want them to make it. That's why I'm trying to help. That's my main concern is helping his people. Why? Because I do love them. I love anybody, but anybody that loves Yahweh, I want to help. Okay, so he has chosen you and not cast you away. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your Elohim. I will strengthen you. Yeah, I will help you. Yeah, I will uphold you with the right hand of my Zadokah. Behold, all they that were incensed against you shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they shall strive with you that shall perish. You shall seek them and shall not find them, even them that contended with you. Jeremiah 30, Jacob's trouble. Not find them, even them that contended with you. They that war against you shall be as nothing and thing of naught. For I, Yahweh, withhold your right hand, saying to you, fear not. Y'all, this is future prophecy. This all was falsely fulfilled. These chapters are a continuation, especially from Isaiah 40 to Isaiah 54. Back to back, back to back. It's a continuation of what Yahweh is going to do and the servants he's raising up. David, my bad, Koresh, not Osiris, and Yasharel, and the strangers. Okay, so let's see here. He's telling you if you're not, you should continue. They should commit. Not okay. I will help you, says Yah. Hold on. Fear ye not, ye worm of Jacob, and ye men of Yahshua. I will help you, says Yahweh, and your not and your Redeemer, the Redeemer, the Holy One of Yahshua. You gotta watch these translations. Behold, I will make you a new instrument, new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. You shall thresh the mountains. This is after his people has been gathered in Gog and Magog. Ezekiel 37:38. Oh, no. 38:39. I noticed when I watch back through my videos that I fly through it and sometimes I mention the wrong, but I didn't there. Okay, behold, I will make you, shall thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. You shall fan them, and the wind shall carry them away. The whirlwind shall scatter them, and you shall rejoice in Yahweh, and shall glory in the Holy One of Yasharel, which is Yahweh. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongues fail for thirst, I, Yahweh, will hear them. So water, there's going to be no water. By the time he's coming, and he makes his way and prepares the way in the wilderness for him to come, and all flesh sees it, like, remember what he says? And good news, get you up into the high mountain. That's Isaiah 52. Hold on, I gotta go to that. I cannot believe I'm having that mixed up. My people do, yeah. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that brings the good news, that publishes peace, that brings good news of good. Y'all are missing where he says that he's going to magnify his Torah and make it honorable. Okay? This is serious, y'all. Leave the Gospels alone. Leave the Second Temple. If you're in the Second Temple, you're still in the Gospels. Because you think John the Baptist is the one crying in the wilderness for the Second Temple, and JC is the one that brought the good news. And if you say you drop JC, who are you putting in JC's place? David is only prophesied in the latter days. If you can't answer that, you're an idolatrous. I mean, you're still an idolatrous, but I want to help you see. So I'm trying to say it in every way I can. It's not about hurting anybody. It's about helping and return to Yahweh, for his peace. I need him. And I need him. We all need him. And there's only some that are truly seeking him. I just want him to come, and I want us to turn back to him. I don't even know if he's going to keep me. I mean, I don't feel worthy of it. But anyways, but still, I want it over. Whether, I hope I make it. I pray I do. I mean, I don't know. because I'm still in transgression. We're all still filthy, like he says. And I feel it. I know I still have wickedness in me. I catch it. I examine myself. You know what I'm saying? I find where my flaws are, and I know. And that's why I'm on my healing. I'm trying to, And even Yahweh's word says, fasting. We should be fasting to loose the bonds of wickedness. We're all filled with wickedness in some form. He says, at our best, at his people's best, there's still nothing but filthy rags. He's saying that about his own people. It's all of us. So hold on. Where did yeah, okay. I got that chapter right in Isaiah 52. Okay, so this is still important. I need to keep reading. And okay, and there's when they what does he say? When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and the water is parched for thirst, I yet will hear him. The Allah of Yasharel will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water and dry land springs of water. Remember this, y'all. What he's going to do, because it's critical for Yasharel. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the chitta tree, and the myrtle and the orchard tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree and the pine and the box tree together. What? That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of Yahweh has done this. The Holy One of Yasharel created it. Right? These false prophet books have y'all fleeing to the mountains. Y'all think the land's inhabited and that Yasharel's going to go in and only a third is going to survive. There's nobody in the land. No unclean or uncircumcised will ever go into the land ever again once he gathers his people. He's going to gather them for judgment first. And those that rebel against him are going to be destroyed. He says he's going to do an amazing sign and wonder on the wise, and the wisdom and the wise is going to perish. Isaiah 29. That's why y'all hear me repeating that. Isaiah 29 is critical. So many chapters are critical. It's critical. But anyways, so that they may see and know and consider and okay, I read that. Produce your cause, says Yahweh. Don't forget what we was talking about. He was talking about in the beginning of the chapter. Who raised up this king from the east, caught him to foot on unfamiliar ground, right? He passed through safely. Yeah, because y'all are believing in the second temple. Y'all just believe in Isaiah 40 that John the Baptist come in the wilderness to prepare the way for JC. Y'all already knew this was coming. He actually orchestrated it all, but it's like a test. It's a test of who's listening to his voice. Who is seeking them with all their heart. I had to find all this myself, and it was extremely, it wasn't easy starting from the beginning. But Yahweh taught me. And I sought him with all my heart. I wanted to know him for myself. And I knew there was just so many different opinions on scripture. So I was like, I got to read for myself, I want to make it to him. Okay, anyways, I hate getting sidetracked, y'all. I'm sorry. That they may see, okay, produce your cause. He's still back on this king raised up. Produce your cause, says Yahweh. Bring forth your strong reason, says the king of Jacob. He's the king. You got to realize, y'all, we got to understand that there's a reason he says everything that he says. It's critical. This is the king of Jacob. Let them bring them forth and show us Aleph Tav. He's asked, see, the Sefer does this. They insert this idol of gold and silver, and everybody thinks that's JC. Let them bring forth, but also it even tells you, not he. Let them bring forth and show us, Aleph Tav, JC, what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them and know the latter end of them, or declare us things to come. Show the things that are come hereafter, that we may know that they are Elohim, right? This king raised up from the east on unfamiliar ground is saying he's Elohim, and we're going to get to that. Acts 13:47. And then it's popping off on Psalms too, y'all. Psalms is connected to the New Testament, and we're going to get to that. I mean, Psalms can be exposed in so many ways. But, hold on. Okay, right here. Show the things that are come hereafter, that we may know that ye are Elohim. Yea, do good or do evil, that we may dismayed and behold it together. See, because y'all think these books of wisdom, like Zechariah, I know Zechariah says, all of them say it pretty much. Zechariah specifically though, and Daniel, that y'all think you're gonna be like Elohim. There's a lot of turning upside down of his word, where y'all are exalting yourself, and these false prophet books are causing y'all to do it. But anyways, so let me get back to this. I didn't know I was going to get so detailed, but it is so important. So important. It has to be done. Show things that are come to have. Behold, ye are nothing. Okay, behold, ye are of nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooses you. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come. This is Koresh. From the rising of the sun shall he call upon my name. He shall, see, Cyrus king of Persia falsely fulfilled this, y'all. He shall come upon princes, upon mortar, as the potter treasures clay, who has declared from the beginning that we may know, and before that we may say he is righteous. He's back on this king. Remember everything he's saying, y'all. He's asking all this in order for a reason, saying everything specifically. Who has declared from the beginning that we may know, and before that we may say he is Zadik. Yeah, there is none that shows. Yeah, there is none that declares. Yeah, there is none that hears your words. I, Yahuwah, was the first. He is the first that shall say to Zion, behold, behold them, and I will give to Jerusalem one that brings good news, which is David. For I beheld, and there was no man, JC, black or white, even among them, and there was no counselor, JC, or wisdom. There's no counselor. What did Isaiah 41 say? No, 40. We gotta remember what he says, y'all. What did he say? Let's see. Who has directed? So what is he saying? Who has measured the waters, the hollow of the hand? So apparently somebody is claiming that they have meted out the heavens with the span and comprehend the dust of the earth and the measure and weighed the mountains in the scales. See, wisdom's, y'all are saying that she wasn't created, that she was before his creation. That is a bold-faced lie. And Isaiah 8:20 proves it substantially. He causes the wise to give bad advice, thus proving them to be fools. He exposes the false prophets as liars. See, that was my whole main thing to get to, is Isaiah 44. And then I had to back it on up. I've already done this before, but, but anyway, so let me just get back here. What did he say? Okay, who has directed the Ruach Yahuwah? Who has directed the Ruach Yahuwah? So if somebody's directing Yahuwah, they're with him, they're beside him. You're saying that she wasn't created. Tessie, y'all just rolled that lie out of her mouth this morning. I can't watch many. I only watch like a minute or two. And like, even, I would love to, if one person I'd love to study, because they're so deep into the lies. And he's exalted. I can see how he speaks so outside. He's I ain't gonna say too much, but I ain't even gonna say his name, but I'm just down. I'm not down on the lies. I'd rather push his truth, you know what I'm saying, than try to learn all their lies. I know enough. But anyway, so I just want to keep getting here. Who has directed the Ruach Yahuwah, or being his counselor has taught him? Well, didn't y'all say wisdom was? Didn't y'all say, she says in the book of Proverbs that she's y'all's mother, it's her Torah, that she was in the beginning before creation, and that she helped Yahuwah to create, and those that wait at her gates will obtain favor from Yahuwah. She has you eating from the forbidden tree of life. Yahweh said, don't have another mighty one before him, but you're eating from a forbidden tree of life that cherubim are guarding. You know, he said, unless one takes hold and lives forever, this is the covenant made with death that promises you life, peace and prosperity. It's false peace and prosperity. So, who has directed the Ruach Yahweh, being his counselor, has taught him, with whom took he counsel? And who instructed him and taught him in the path of judgment and taught him knowledge? Y'all are saying that judgment passed over with this second temple, that all these chapters of Arcane, starting at Isaiah 40, John the Baptist, he prepared the way for JC. The good news is the gospel. And then Cyrus, king of Persia, he helped release the captives and rebuilt the temple. See, Isaiah 44, what I was going to get to at the end, where he says exposes false prophets as liars, turning wise men backwards. He makes their knowledge stupid and foolish. I mean, he exposes the wise so much. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me see. And who taught them the path of judgment and taught him knowledge and showed him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. They're all vanity. Y'all are saying somebody helped him to create. They spanned the heaven. They measured it out. They was with him. They were before creation. You know what I'm saying? It's just Yahweh. He's not a he. He's not a she. I can give you the scriptures where he's clearly going to tell us if he's a he or not. He tells us that he never tells us that he is a she. He said there's nobody with him, beside him, or after him. So we're going to keep exposing y'all. Yahweh is. So we're going to get back to where we were. Remember what was said, y'all. Isaiah 39, Isaiah 40. We got to study these chapters so we can, just don't believe me, y'all. Let Yahweh showed y'all this. I'm just trying to help y'all get to, you know what I'm saying? To help you, I had to learn the foundation. I had to learn. I let Yahweh teach me his foundation. I've sought out every path there is to take. And I've been on crazy ones. Even at the beginning, it's wild I even made it here. It's Yahweh by Yahweh only. And that's because I've been seeking him with, he's all I had. And, he's the only thing that brings me peace. I mean, I don't know. But let's see. So we got to remember Isaiah 39, 40. Okay? His peace is coming. The good news. The righteous king being raised up. He's being exposed on unfamiliar ground from the east. The sun comes from the east, rises from the east. He even exposes it in Ezekiel 8, y'all. Go read it. He tells us who it is. Tammuz, the sun. The sun. He says he's his anointed cherub. He adorned him with every precious stone and set him in the finest of gold. He made him anointed cherubim, set him so, and he was corrupted by his wisdom. Well, he was guarding the tree of life, so yeah, I'm sure he's going to be corrupted. And so he's trying to be like Yahweh, but he says that he was in the garden. I'm sure he said his holy mountain, and he said amongst the midst of the stones and fire. His messengers are the wind, cherubim, and a flaming fire, sun, moon, and stars. That comes from Psalms. I hate Psalms, but that's the only thing. I mean, there's truth mixed in these false prophet books. But Yahweh already explains it better, but that's just a quick summary of the truth. So we got to learn who the host of heaven is. I mean, we got to put his Torah and his binded up true prophets together, and it all makes sense. But somebody said something to me the other day, and it's very smart, because they notice that in all these false prophet books, just like I do, is that they're saying that the Torah says this, the Torah says this, the prophets say this, and they're like, it's not there. It's not there. I said, right, it's not there. We can't add. We cannot add to his commandments. We got to guard his word. What is Isaiah 26? Open up the gates to the goyim nations who guard his truth. We got to guard it with our lives if we want to make it to Yahweh. And we want him to come as fast as possible. Babylon sucks. I'm praying to Yahweh that I can get completely alone. Or have a husband. But I refuse to be with someone in idolatry. And everybody, you know, I've had a lot of potential worldly men that I could have had good husbands, but I'm not going to do that. I want someone that's keeping the commandments and loves Yahweh and his word just as much as I do. And they can't be in idolatry. I can't do it. It will never work. If someone loves this stone chick and they think that's her mother, where Yahweh exposes Jeremiah 2, Yahshua's calling the stone chick, their mother, and she's the only one in the whole Bible that they're calling their mother. And she goes by the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, in the false prophet books. And then y'all mix it in Yahweh's word. It's sick. So let me get down to here. So okay, we get to the end of 41? So he's saying, who is declared from the beginning that we may know. He's back on that righteous king ain't raised, you know. He said, yeah, there's none that shows. Yeah, there's none, right? He is the one. Behold, behold, and I will give to Jerusalem one that brings good news. For behold, there was no man, okay? Behold, here we go, y'all. Y'all ready to get on the Psalms? Let's get it. Because I hate Psalms. I hate Psalms. I can expose Psalms. You know why I hate certain books more than I do others? Like Proverbs. I can't stand Proverbs. I can't stand Psalms. I can't stand Zechariah. And I really can't stand Daniel. And all these books that Ezra and Nehemiah, Haggai, those are, I can't stand them. Why? Because what I thought was the remnant of Yasharel coming out of idolatry of the New Testament for a good 3 years probably. I was bluffed by it. And until I kept reading and studying, Yahweh showed me that they're still lying. He exposes that in his word, like, all the time. You know. But anyways, I lost my train of thought. But here we go. Let's get it. So, let's see. 42 minutes on just 2 chapters. But hey, this is important. I hate to hold y'all up so much. But those that are truly seeking Yahweh, they'll put in the time. If, they're truly seeking him to help them with their studies. Okay, so behold my servant, whom I uphold, my elect one. I'd like to go, I don't know if it is going to let me.